military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During this oath, airmen pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution of our country. For the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask that you remain in place until our distinguished guests have left the reviewing stand and departed the area. Restroom facilities are located in the buildings on either side of the parking lot, and during the morning ceremony, smoking and the consumption of alcoholic beverages is not permitted. Please be cautious when ascending and descending the bleachers. Please use handrails where available and watch for tripping, slipping, and falling hazards. Finally, please do not go onto the grassy areas when taking photos during the ceremony. The flights before you today are named after Air Force pioneers who have made significant contributions to our enlisted heritage. These have special meaning to all airmen, especially those who are transitioning from civilians to warrior airmen of character. Today's graduates make up these heritage flights and will continue to shape our Air Force. And now, I would like to take a moment to inform you on the specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. The first 4 heritage flights to pass and review today are from the 324th Training Squadron, DuPrat-Waldo, Harlow, McKinley, and Campanelli flight. Next is McCoy flight from the 320th Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field is the 737th Drum and Bugle Corps Murray flight from the 321st Training Squadron. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags is Andrews flight, followed by Parrish flight from the 320th Training Squadron. The last 4 flights to pass and review today are from the 331st Training Squadron, Kissling, Peterson, Finch, and Smith flight. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Massey.
Please bow your heads with me. Almighty God, we ask you to bestow your peace and blessing upon this gathering as we honor the accomplishments of these sons and daughters who have answered our nation's call. Men and women who for the past several weeks have shown dedication and endurance in a time of tremendous growth and development. God, we ask that you continue to guide these new airmen on the path of integrity, service, and excellence. We ask you to sustain them while they're away from family and friends. We thank you for the commitment of loved ones because they serve as the supportive foundation for these men and women. We thank you also for the foundation of knowledge and skills that the MTIs and leaders at Lackland have provided these airmen. May the wisdom and the discipline instilled here function as pillars of truth throughout the careers of these airmen. Lastly, God, we thank you for the freedom that we enjoy here in the United States, freedom that is made possible because of the sacrifice and professionalism of the men and women in the U.S. Armed Forces. May your guidance be upon us continually. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Massey. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Carruthers. Representing the Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Lee Hoover. Today's reviewing officer is the Deputy Commander, Air Education and Training Command, Joint Base San Antonio, Randolph, Texas, Major General Mark Wetherington. From the 37th Training Wing, the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Generos, accompanied by his wife, Leslie. Also in attendance with us today, the mobilization assistant to the Chief of Chaplains, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C., Chaplain Brigadier General William Dickens. U.S. STRATCOM Inspector General, Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska, Colonel Lloyd Bazell. We would also like to introduce a distinguished group in attendance with us today. Would the members of the 2018 Chaplain Candidates Tour please stand to be recognized? Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each and every one of you. We hope that you enjoy today's ceremony. The airmen who will pass and review today have completed a demanding 7.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Jeff Calhoff, Master Military Training Instructor, 737th Training Group. General Weatherington will review today's ceremony.
Bigger force too. So. It's gonna be bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
I started.
Oh, you were telling me about the, what is it? See the report! Sir!
737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence Streamer. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 320th Training Squadron, Flight 498, for their significant accomplishments, demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 28 May 2018 through 13 July 2018. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of ruffles and flourishes.
March the command in review.
Yeah. Order.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Yeah. Take note.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. Military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass in review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The airmen recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, receiving heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 7 Medal of Honor, 28 Air Force Crosses, 190 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in the service of this great nation. Armed with the knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the Heroes Walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray Flight from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Master Sergeant Douglas Koss, hometown, Zelienople, Pennsylvania. These airmen are also in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow our guests the opportunity to view the flags as they pass in review. Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 11, Campanelli Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Stephanie Carrillo, hometown Amarillo, Texas. From the 320th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 6, McCoy Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Alexander Fisher, hometown Denver, Colorado. The squadron selected as the color guard is from the 321st Training Squadron, led by Master Sergeant Jacob Lacefield, hometown Asheville, Indiana. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are from the 320th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 7, Andrews Flight, led by Master Sergeant Jano Adeline, hometown Corpus Christi, Texas, and Technical Sergeant Jerry Boswell, hometown La Habra, California. The B Squadron Commander is Technical Sergeant Shakiawin Bird, Military Training Instructor, 324th Training Squadron, hometown Americus, Georgia.
Order!
From the 320th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 8, Parrish Flight, led by Master Sergeant Troop Clark, hometown Albuquerque, New Mexico. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 3, Kissling Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Felipe Alvarado, hometown Laredo, Texas. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing the Air Force's first female Chief Master Sergeant, Peterson Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Evan Johnson, hometown Eota, Minnesota. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 13, Finch Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Brooke Vaughn, hometown Parker, Arizona. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Smith Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Alvarez, hometown Aurora, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 7.5 weeks, the airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. One of these airmen lead basic military training. They will enter into this Airmen's Week where they will develop their critical thinking skills and further personalize the Air Force core values. They will continue on the technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining home station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of airmen citizens that each of the workforce for each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of the accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our squadron honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguished themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. Your words of encouragement helped to motivate these airmen through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Bases military training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of our airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. General Weatherington will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Please put your squadrons at ease. Stand at ease, please.
Instructors, place your flights at ease.
Wow! That was impressive. How about a round of applause? And what a beautiful day here in lovely, balmy San Antonio, right? I know it's a little hot out there. I'm going to talk for a little bit. Very excited to see that. You know, it's my first BMT graduation, and I'm very impressed by everything that's happened so far today. What an impressive group of young Americans. And what a great day for our Air Force. None of this would have been possible without the sacrifice and the support of some very important people. And I'm going to start with our superbly talented and professional military training instructors and all our Team Lackland partners. Thank you for your dedication to turn this group of young people into world-class airmen. They'll forget who stood here and spoke to them this morning, but for the rest of their lives, they'll never forget their MTIs and the folks that brought them through this experience. Thank you. How about a big round of applause for our MTIs? The second group I want to recognize is all around here, family and friends. And this is also very impressive. Thank you for coming out and showing your love, your support. Pretty neat to see this. I'm glad you got a chance to come down here. Glad that you're playing a role as part of our Air Force family here today. You know, it's not lost on any of us the important role you played in getting these young men and women here. Thank you for your love and support, the foundation you set, and thank you for your continued support as they serve our nation as airmen in this Air Force. And now I want to talk, please. And now the young men and women in formation here today. 2 months ago, you arrived as citizens and began a rigorous transition. And today, you have earned the title Airman. Congratulations. On behalf of the entire Air Force family, we're proud you decided to cross into the blue. Now, I want to highlight a couple things for you. Not sure if you're aware, but on this day, in 1921, Brigadier General William Billy Mitchell and a crew of young airmen set out on the first bombing test off the Virginia Capes to demonstrate the ability of aircraft to sink capital ships and initiating almost a century of incredible feats by airmen. We've got folks in this crowd today, Airmen, as well as our other partners, whether they're Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, who serve in conflicts, in strife around the globe for decades. World War II, Vietnam, Korea, all the modern conflicts that you're probably aware of. I'd like a big round of applause. Thank you to our veterans that are out there today. Thanks for being part of this morning. We'll remember Billy Mitchell, we'll remember that innovation, we'll remember making a difference. Around the time that many of you were born, airmen like you participated in the first aerial operations in Afghanistan after the most tragic terrorist attack on American soil. They generated combat power in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, far-flung lands where the enemies of freedom roam. And as you grew up, you watched airmen respond around the globe to devastating disasters. They fed children, and brought relief supplies to those affected by famine or hurricane. Even this week, combat divers from your Air Force supported the daring cave rescue in Thailand. Every day, airmen like you make a difference in their local communities, perhaps providing fire or EV response, or even interacting with young people in schools or in their neighborhoods. Whether you are a rescue swimmer, a flight line maintainer, a paralegal, or a cop, and every specialty in between, I promise each one of you will have a chance to make a difference for our Air Force and for our nation. And when that time comes, I want you to grab that opportunity with all the strength and all the courage you can muster. It's been a phenomenal couple months. I'm excited for where you're going to go throughout your career. I'm excited to cross paths with each one of you in our Air Force. So I have one last question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? I think they're ready. Well done.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Weatherington will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen. Welcome to the world's greatest Air Force.
Thank you, General Weatherington. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airman recites the Airman's Creed and remain standing in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American airman.
I am a warrior. I am